Welcome to Wildly Successful. I am your host, Petra Colson, a fellow business owner, a mum, and someone who has far too many ideas for my own good. On this podcast, we are diving deep into what it takes to build a business you truly love. One that brings not only financial success, but also the freedom to live a life that makes you genuinely happy. Join me as we explore topics such as business strategy, marketing, mindset, and everything between. You can expect actionable advice and real conversations with incredible business owners that will motivate you to take your business to the next level. So, if you're committed to building your wildly successful business, you're in the right place. Hello, and welcome back to Wildly Successful and to our first official episode. It feels amazing to be here, but I'm not going to lie, this is the third time I'm recording this episode, and I think it's really important to share this because yes, I am a bit of a perfectionist, and anyone that knows me know this. It is something that I have been working on for years and continue to work on. But I think it's important to mention because I think for a lot of us, we look at other business owners or other people in general at things they do and we think, oh, that looks like it's just comes so natural to them, or it was so easy for them to get started. And I just want to put that out there that it isn't easy to get started most of the time. Actually, it's quite difficult and it feels stretchy and uncomfortable, and you're not happy with what you're saying, or you're not happy with how your voice sounds or how you pronounce that word or how you told that story, and that is okay. Because we're human and we're growing, and growing means being uncomfortable. So that's a reminder for myself, but also for you if you're out there and you're trying to start something new. You're looking at others, you're comparing yourself, and you're thinking, why am I not able to make it sound like that? Or why am I feeling like this is challenging for me? Because trust me, it was challenging for them as well when they first started. Before we dive into today's episode, I just wanted to share a little bit about my weekend because I really enjoy listening to episodes where I feel like I'm getting to know the host more behind the scenes than just, here's my latest strategy or here's what you should try. My weekend started off with swimming lessons, which I love because the kids are at that stage where they're actually getting quite good at swimming. So it's really fun to watch them in the water. After swimming, we had a birthday parties, and they are not my favorite thing, but it was a nice day and the kids loved it, and there's some really nice moms there, so I kept myself entertained with a coffee and some chit chat while the kids were running around like crazy. But I felt like I had to go and sit in a quiet room for a couple of hours afterwards just to decompress and to regain some energy. We did that, and for the rest of the afternoon, we just took it easy. I baked some banana bread. On the Sunday, we went up to IKEA because my husband and I are currently building a granny flat on our property. So this has been a big project that we have been working on over the past 2 years, like huge project. The first year was all about getting council approvals and just really waiting for their go ahead. Over the past year, my husband has been building this granny flat. He has done such an amazing job. It is quite a large granny flat. So it's a 1-bedroom bathroom with beautiful raked ceilings in the living room. And yeah, I'm so happy with how it's all come together. We're at that final stretch. You know, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. We are hoping for this project to be finished by the end of April. And we had to go up to IKEA. So I took my daughter and we went out there, and it was a mission because I had placed an order of a cabinet that they had then canceled without telling me. They told me they refunded me, but they hadn't. And yeah, it was a bit of a nightmare. We were driving between the actual IKEA store and their warehouse a couple of times. And if you have a 4-year-old or a child around that age, you will know the pain of having to get in and out of the car, walk across this huge car park every single time and wait in lineups and just trying to keep them entertained the whole time so that they don't crack it. But I got through and we got what we needed, but that was like a half a day job. So by the end of the day, we ended up just tidying up the house, getting some groceries for the week, and really just preparing for, the week ahead. Today, I am going to dive into one of the biggest projects to date in my business. I finally decided to do the thing. I rebranded Collab Teams. And in this episode, I wanted to take you behind the scenes of that decision, why it happened, how it felt, what it took, what I learned, and just to give you a bit of a backstory. 2 years ago, a key person within my business left the business, and that sort of sparked a massive internal shift for me. I started asking a lot of questions around how can I run this business better? How can we deliver better results for our clients? How can I improve the experience for our clients and for our team? How do we create better and more robust systems? I wanted a business model that felt really aligned, sustainable, profitable, and one where our clients felt really, really supported, our team felt clear and confident and excited about work. But I did have my hesitations, and I asked myself a lot of questions during this period. Am I doing this rebrand to avoid doing something else? Or am I just distracting myself? Is this the right investment at this time? What if I don't like the outcome? What if it's not a successful outcome? And I mean, all these things were real fears. However, in the end, I just kept coming back to that one thing. If I want to evolve this business, I had to just lock in this idea of doing a rebrand and make it happen. So I just want to remind you that this was a 2-year process. It wasn't something that I woke up one day and just decided that I'm going to do a rebrand. Let's just go ahead and do it because it's fun. It was something that was really thought through because I wanted to make sure that when we did this change, when we evolved, I was clear on what we were evolving into. So by the end of last year, I felt like I was there. Not 100%. I don't think we will ever be 100% clear on everything. It's impossible. But I did know what we wanted to focus on as a team. Because over the last 4.5 years, I've learned what my team is really excited about, where we can really help our clients get massive results, what our dream clients want from us. And by the end of last year, I was really ready to step into that new version of us, the new version of Collab Teams. If you don't know our story, Collab Teams started back in 2020 as a generalist VA agency. We have always had an Australian-based team, and we've supported founders with anything from inbox management, travel booking, customer service, social media, systems, bookkeeping, all of the things. And we did it really well, but I just reached a point where I realized that just because we can do it all doesn't mean that we actually should. I wanted to get really focused on the areas where we did an amazing job for our clients and focus solely on that. And this is not to say that you can't make it work as a generalist. You absolutely can. But for me as an agency owner, offering generally support means having a team that can do a lot of things, which does come with a lot of training. It means you need to find people that are really good at admin, but also really good at system and also really good at marketing. And it sometimes feels like you are almost like unicorn hunting. That's where I again started asking myself, like, how can we simplify? How can we just do these like a couple of things that we're incredible at, a few things really, really well, and how can we create something that is sustainable and just delivers amazing, amazing results? So end of last year, I sort of ended up taking the leap. I hired a company called Sparrow Studios for the visual branding. This is logo, submarks, colors, font, and they absolutely nailed it. I invested about 5K in that alone, but I also brought in a social media collaborator internally, someone to help me manage 80% of our content to make sure that I had someone who could take a strategic approach, someone that could help take things off my plate so that I could focus on just creating content and just creating ideas. We also carved out some time for the team to do work on the website, creating new funnels, updating our systems. There are so many things that needs to be changed when you do a rebrand, and we are still working through our list. And this is 4 weeks after the official rebrand. If you're someone who is looking to do a rebrand, this is just a part of the process. It takes time. There are so many things to swap over and so many things to get done. For us, this rebrand wasn't just a visual refresh. It was a shift in business model. So going from generalist to specialist. Now we're focusing on the strategic content management. We're focusing on the systems and the funnel setups and helping service-based businesses launching their profitable courses, memberships, and programs. In this rebrand, my 4 biggest lessons were: clarity comes first. Before you get started on your visual branding, what it's going to look like, I think it's really important that you know your dream clients well, you know your market position, and the feeling that you want people to have when they see your brand. Secondly, hire professionals when you can. It just elevates the outcome so much when you work with people who are truly in their zone of genius with what they're doing. Thirdly, give feedback and do not settle until you're happy. I feel like this is where a lot of business owners get it wrong when they outsource a task to a contractor or a team member. And if they're not happy with it, they see this first draft or second draft and they think, this is not working. I'm not happy with this. I should have never outsourced this. I should have just done it myself, because we're not confident to give feedback. I'm someone who's been giving feedback for over 15 years to people. And I still have to remind myself that the outcome or the result that I'm getting from this collaboration is based on the level of feedback that I can give them. So give feedback until you're happy with the project. That is how it works. That's how you get outstanding results from your team. And number 4, build hype to educate. So we created a series of social media posts to share and tease what we were doing. And it worked. We got people interested before the rebrand, and we got to educate them to show them what was happening, so that now when they all of a sudden see something that looks very different from our original brand, they're not confused. They look at that and go, oh yeah, that's Collab Teams' new branding. So even though you as the business owner is probably going to be the most excited about your rebrand, it is really important to do some sort of campaign on your socials, maybe using your email, using your podcast, whatever platforms that you're on, to show people what you're doing, to build that bit of interest, to educate them so that they know what's happening and so that they keep their eye out for your new branding. Okay, so before I share some of the results from the rebrand, I just wanted to mention again and bring this whole concept up around perfectionism, because you might look at this rebrand and go, oh, that looks easy. It wasn't super easy. Our rebrand launched on the same day as Cyclone Alfred hit Queensland. It was crazy time. But I, in my heart, knew that it was never going to be the perfect time, and I just needed to get it out there. And the response we got from our community was incredible. Now, the most important part of this podcast, I think, is this. It's the result. Because absolutely, we can look at this brand visually and it looks amazing. I'm so happy with it. It feels aligned. It feels like us. However, having a beautiful brand is absolutely nice, but it isn't necessarily the result that matter. The results that matter is the things that happens after you rebrand, which was our community got re-engaged in what we're doing, and the feedback has been amazing. Now, in just 4 weeks, we have attracted some of the biggest opportunities that we have ever had as a business. And in the past 2 weeks, we have had our biggest weeks of discovery calls in the history of this business. So it's safe to say that the rebrand was a right move for us. Now, if you have been thinking about doing a rebrand for yourself, I hope this episode helps you to see what is possible when you do it from a place of intention and alignment. If you have any questions about the process, I genuinely love to chat everything business. please send me a DM on Instagram at collab.teams. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed this conversation. If you did, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.